Hey, my name is Jansen Simmons. I'm a freshman at Clemson University. I recently attended a new student dialogue on gender stereotypes. What we first did whenever I got there is we got together to do a group activity to get to know one another. It was an icebreaker sort of thing. One person would stand up and say something that they were interested in, and then another person that was interested in that same thing got up and said a different thing that they were interested in. And it kept going to the point that the last person was interested in something that the first person was interested in. And that was a nice little thing to break the ice between the whole group and create a little sense of solidarity with a group of fresh strangers. Right after that, we filled out little circles about things that we feel make us up, both culturally and emotionally, as well as physically. One of the things on there was race, another one was ethnicity, something was how we view our own bodies. And it was just various things like that. After filling those out, we got together with a partner and discussed our own little circles with that partner and just kind of shared about ourselves with that person, kind of, made a close friend in a couple minutes. And to be honest, I have not kept in touch with that person. So it was pretty much only for the purpose of that activity. But after we did that, we formed another group activity where it was kind of like a survey within the group of how we felt on certain subjects, as like, should men be allowed to cry? Should they be allowed to show their feelings? Is it all right to see a woman crying? Is it all right to see a man crying? Things such as that. Everybody seemed very open with their answers, and nobody was ridiculed for any answers that they had. I personally, as well as a friend of mine, we were generally on the short end of the stick, as you could call it. We were often going against the grain, what most people would think, and it was refreshing to be in a situation where we were not being outwardly judged for our opinions on situations. I do believe our group reached a true dialogue in that time span, because the whole time after that, whenever we were discussing the various gender stereotypes, it was just constantly left, right, just people giving their input with things, and almost everybody in the group had an active voice in the dialogue, but there were a couple reserved voices. I was somewhat reserved for most of it, but there were parts whenever I did give my opinion, and that was just the times whenever I felt truly strong about something and felt that my opinion was needed. I really enjoyed the New Student Dialogue as a whole, and I'm glad that it is a component of this Freshman Connect CU 1000 course. Really opened my eyes to having to assess other people's opinions immediately and not want to just lash out at them, or not lash out, but like not hurry in my judgment and judge them or slander to them. Really helped to open my eyes to that. But just another observation I have about it is that it was really good for bonding with people I've never met before. I never knew I could become that close with a bunch of people that I've never met before. And one of my friends was in the group, and since the beginning of school, we've gotten close. And through that, we continued to become closer friends. And so I'm definitely a fan of how this is part of CU 1000. And even if it wasn't part of CU 1000, I could have seen myself attending one eventually, just because these tend to strike up topics that a bunch of people want to skip around, generally the topics that most people don't have a shared opinion on. And if you're not the majority opinion, you tend to be judged very harshly. But I definitely encourage this as being part of CU 1000, and I look forward to becoming a PDF myself, or even attending other dialogues in the future. Thank you.